Hello YouTube, Damien from Flowforge here. A lot of your productivity issues are actually patience issues. That's what today's video is going to be about. When you have ADHD, it's very easy to think that you can take on so much. Like our brains basically trick us even more than normal people into thinking that we can do it. A lot of things, like we get super excited about stuff and we're like ready to go. Ironically, like we have a dysfunction that makes it that we actually can't. It's not the reality. And that's not to say that we can't do a lot or we can't do great things. We absolutely can. But if you look at how the most productive people, millionaires and billionaires, get things done, is they don't work hard, they don't hustle, they don't grind. They view their productivity, this is kind of the mindset to take, as basically like you sit on this box, this computer, and you just pick things to do and you just make action towards whatever problem you're trying to solve. You just sit there and you burn through tasks and you just burn on each task. And, you don't know how long each task is going to take either. Because remember, every task creates more tasks. That's like a fundamental rule in productivity. You're going to find all these different little rabbit trails that you can go down, and it's your job to make sure that if you go down one, you get back on the right path. And this is normal. This is completely normal. And it can feel discouraging, but just knowing that it's normal should help you, right? It's okay. It's normal to get sidetracked and go down the wrong path for a while and then get back on the right path. And this can happen for any span of time. This can happen in a short span of time, like you're just working for an hour. This can happen for a long span of time. Like you realize, oh, I've been wasting my time for weeks now. But when you do that, all you do is get back on the path. You get back on the path, get back on the horse, whatever you want to call it. And you just start burning through tasks again. And that's the mindset I want you to have. You're not actively going out and trying to complete things, because this is a struggling mindset. And what this is going to do is it's going to make you feel like you're struggling. And so you're not going to get the positive feedback loop that you should be getting from being productive, and you're basically just training your brain to hate being productive. And productivity is how you get what you want. Productivity is the method of achieving literally anything. Anything you want to do, anything you want to have, guess what? It's going to take steps, going to take a process, going to take productivity to get there. That's what productivity is. It's this path. It's these steps to a thing. And so if you're not good at this, you're not going to really get anything out of life. Like, this is where everything comes from. Like, if you're looking at yourself and you're wondering, like, oh, what went wrong? Like, I don't have anything. Like, I'm just kind of floating about. But I feel like should have something, because I feel like I'm, like I have ideas and I have things, and I just don't get it. Like, why don't I have anything? And the reason why is because you haven't been productive. You haven't stayed focused. You haven't built this skill. I'm just doing the next thing, 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 doing the next thing. You have to figure these out, and that takes time. You have to learn from this. You need to evaluate. I do a self-evaluation, not every night, but I have a timer that goes off that tells me, hey, it's time to do your self-evaluation. And I typically find a lot of things. Like, I learn a lot for that day. Where it's like, well, I spent a ton of time on this and that actually didn't matter. Like, I didn't need to do that. Or reflecting about productivity in general. I've been doing this and that's been good. I've been thinking about all of this all wrong. Like, these are things that I'll realize in my self-evaluation. In fact, you guys are, like, these videos are mostly things that you're getting from what I'm getting out of my self-evaluation, honestly. What I've realized lately, or what I've been thinking about a lot more lately, is how productivity is a slow thing. And there's a time for everything. There's a time for everything. I just went through my intense productivity period, And, I'm working on my gigonomics. So now I'm trying to go into my slower productivity period. And I don't know how long it'll last, but probably about as long as the other one. And then once this is done, and this is another tip, is think in terms of eras, where it's like this is my slow productivity era, where this is like I'm gonna grow roots. I'm gonna grow deep roots in the things that I should be doing. Not gonna rush. And then maybe you have a fast productivity era where you can do this for days, right? Like if you had a fast productivity day, then switch to a slow productivity day, vice versa. You want to mix them up because you want to get the value out of both because they both provide different things. A fast productivity day, you're going to burn through a lot of those little tiny tasks, right? So maybe you schedule a day where it's like, I'm going to burn through tiny tasks, or a day where it's like, I'm just going to focus on whatever needs my attention and I'm going to let it take however long it needs to take. I don't know how long it's going to take. I have no control over that. And I'm just going to sit there and burn through the tasks. And it's going to be like a fire, and it just burns slowly. These are both very valuable. These are both a part of the skill of productivity. You need to do both of these. And how many of you know that the harder you try, sometimes, the harder you try, the worse results you get? It's sort of like a fundamental rule that's baked into reality. But the people who are effortless seem to get more out of life. And there might be many different reasons why that is. I'm not really going to go into that. What I do know, though, is that flow seems to be a pattern that is applicable everywhere. And so, if you want the most out of life, you want to be living in a lifestyle that is conducive to flow, whether it be a fast or a slow flow, you want flow. And the way that you can get more flow, be more effortless, is by designing things to come to you. So having a backwards oriented approach for how you're going to finish things. An example of this is changing your mindset from I'm going to do X, Y, and Z today to I'm going to make something that does X, Y, and Z for me. And this could look like a system. This isn't fully automated. This is like you still have manual input, but you have something that's semi-automated tracking it, right? Or you're logging the hours or whatever have you. You have a standard operating procedure, whatever this looks like, right? There's many, many different types of systems. But making it so that instead of you having to try harder to get it done, you build whatever it is that's going to give it to you for free without effort, basically. This is a really obnoxious example, but something that I have thought about doing. I haven't done it yet. Is there's a specific task that I need to do that I keep forgetting, and I've literally thought about putting a string in my doorway where it just says, like, go do this. And it's like such a simple, small thing, and I keep forgetting it. And it's normal for ADHD, right? But this task that I'm forgetting, I want to do daily. And so hanging a piece of paper where it's like I have to actually like move out of the way and like duck under it in order to get through the doorway. Like that's a really good way to make me stop and be like, "Oh, I have to go do that." So instead of having to actively remember it, I've off-sourced it. And this takes more time up front. Like this costs more time and more effort up front, but then it just pays you. And so that's how I think about productivity is you're building investments. It's exactly the same as investing. You are trying to make these things that make passive productivity for you. That's the way I would think about it. You're trying to create passive productivity, and you are the engine of the productivity. So productivity happens when you are sitting at the desk or when you are doing whatever it is you're doing, when you are just sitting there burning the task. And that's how you think about yourself is you're like the fire, and the fire is only so strong. Like the fire can only do so much. If you want to get better results, you have to build a bigger reactor for the fire. You have to build something that harnesses it and channels it in more productive and useful ways. And so you get better results. So you max out the energy output. And these things are passive, they are static. You build them, and then they stay there. And then they work. And this is like a workflow. Or this is like a system. Or this is like delegating something. Like, telling, if you have this option, get somebody who doesn't have ADHD to work on the things that your ADHD is making you struggle with. Like, we're here to help each other, right? ADHD is optimized for having ideas. It's sort of just inherent about it. The brain states that you have more commonly active when you have ADHD, the theta and the lower ones like that, and then you mix with some higher ones. Like, these are just better conducive for brainstorming and creativity. So these are your strong suits. And so if you can get other people to execute on these, you would be good. The problem is that you have to do things in order to get people to actually do this for you. So you still have to overcome this hurdle, and it's fair. It's fair that you should, because if you don't overcome this hurdle, you're not going to understand the challenges for this person that you're trying to get to do it. So it's important for you to overcome the hurdle first, and so you know what you're doing, and then you teach somebody else how to do it for you, or you teach an AI how to do it for you using something like N8N. This is productivity. Think about these things.